Hey there, adventurers. Welcome to Let's Just Go podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kayla. And today we're going to talk to you about Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is a deluxe resort at Walt Disney World. We're doing a little series about all of the different resorts at Walt Disney World just to give you a better idea of what they are, what to expect, help you make a, informed choice the next time that you take a trip. Maybe you're going to learn something new. We'll see. But we just wanted to share insight with everybody.
Yeah, and so Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge is incredibly unique because it has a safari right outside the lobbies and outside of many of the rooms.
Yeah.
So if you want to wake up in the morning and see giraffes and zebras and weird
So
other
cool.
animals that don't eat each other so that they can be together in a safari, then you can and should stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yeah, you've stayed there, I've stayed there.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really cool. So it's a deluxe resort, which means that it's all interior doors. You're walking into this beautiful lobby that it feels like you're in a park. Like it's what I would envision going to like a big park in Africa would be like if they had like a large resort. It's absolutely stunning in terms of like the architecture of the building. I think that Joe Rohde was part of designing that place, and that man, so talented. But it's a pretty small resort. I like in terms of how big some of the resorts at Walt Disney World get. It has a little over 1,300 rooms. That's including villas and regular hotel rooms, which I think that's an important thing to note. There are two separate sides of Animal Kingdom Lodge. So there is Kidani Village and
Jambo.
Jambo. See, I was like, no, that's not right. Chico's the restaurant. Jambo.
Jambo House.
It's Jambo House, Kidani Village.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the difference there is Kidani Village is all villas. And so you're going to have studios 1 and 2 and 3 bedroom villas, where in Jambo, you're going to have studios 1 and 2 bedrooms, but also you have the club level lounge there and then all of the hotel rooms, right? There's a large swing in price point between resort view, so like parking lot view or pool view versus savannah view. If it were me, I would just pay for the less room because you can go out into the hallway, you can go to the lobby. There's a million other places you can see the animals. I mean, unless you really want to, you're going to spend your whole time at the resort and you're sitting on your balcony the whole time. Yeah, maybe that makes sense. But otherwise, the cost differential for me is not worth it to have it always accessible. It could be like a few $100s a night difference.
I want to say the last time I was looking at prices, it was like $400 for just like a standard view, and it was like $700 or $800 for Savannah view.
It's pretty.
And the other thing, this is like asterisk, italicized, bold, like may not happen, but worth noting. When I stayed there, I had a standard view room. I could see animals from my room. It wasn't like, I think that with a Savannah view room, the difference is that like it feels like you're fully in it. And there's no like, for me, there was like fencing that I could see and like the magic, the show wasn't 100% there. It was a little obvious that we weren't actually in a safari in Africa. But that is something to keep in mind. If you book a standard view room, you could potentially end up still being able to see animals in your room. However, again, like that is not a guarantee. We're not telling you book a standard view room and expect to see animals from your room. We're just saying that's a thing that potentially could happen depending on the specific room you end up in.
And we've stayed in a Savannah view room and like only saw like warthogs. Like it was not the best Savannah because there's different Savannahs, right? And so it wasn't the main one where the zebras and the giraffes and all are. So it was not super great. But
that's too bad.
And we mentioned there being 2 different sides, and they actually have about every 15 minutes, they have a shuttle that runs in between the 2 lobbies. And you are welcome to walk. It takes probably a 10-minute walk. It's not very far at all from each other. But they do have some great dining
Oh my God.
I
Such
know.
good
They
dining.
have to be a little bit adventurous, but
I will say, okay, so I've done Boma for breakfast. Have you ever had Boma?
I've been to Boma several times for dinner.
So the thing about Boma is if you are an adventurous eater and let's say your child is not, or maybe you have an adult person with you that is not, Boma is a fantastic place to go because they do still have like totally normal food. Like you want mac and cheese, you want chicken tenders, you can still get them at Boma. However, if you're wanting to try more adventurous things, it's a fantastic place to go. They really do have like a wide variety of food. And I mean, again, I've only been for breakfast, so I can't speak to dinner, but like everything that I had at breakfast was absolutely delicious.
Everything at dinner was great. I mean, it is buffet style, so you need to be in, knowing that
Yeah,
that is coming. But I like it because it's not something I would normally order, right? And so
exactly.
you're able to try some pretty authentic ethnic food. Now, all of the
Mhm.
dining there has that African flair to it, though. So just be mindful of that. The next up, we have Sanaa over at Kidani Village.
Do you say it's Sanaa or do you say it's Sana? Because I say it's Sana, and then I hear other people say Sanaa, and I'm like, am I wrong?
I think it's Sanaa
It looks like it would be Sanaa, but like
with the two A's. I think the
it's
two
Sana.
A's make it, yeah. You say whatever you want. I don't care
Thank you.
what you call it. Just order, when you're with me, just order the bread service.
Absolutely. That's I was gonna say that's the only thing to get, but it's not. All of their food is great. And it's not just African food, it's also Indian food. So if you like Indian food, you will more than likely enjoy Sanaa. That being said, the bread service is the path forward for sure.
And the bread service is multiple different types of naan. And I think it's like 14
I think
different dipping
it's a
sauces.
lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot of sauces.
And they're not all great. I mean, some of them are real spicy, some of them might not be for you, but it is amazing. In fact, I stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge my last trip and ordered that to go from Sanaa.
And you can get extra bread. So if we learned that on our trip there most recently, if you still have sauce. So like I think there were 6 of us and we ordered 1 round of bread service and then we were like, "Oh no, there's not enough bread here for all 6 of us. We absolutely need you to bring us more."
And then the final restaurant, I mean, they do have some bar lounges by the pool and in the lobbies, but the other restaurant is a signature dining experience called Jico, the cooking place. And Jico, have you eaten at Jico?
No.
It is probably my favorite. It is,
Really?
I wouldn't say it was the best. It was one of the best meals I've ever had at Disney World. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I used to know someone who worked there. I mean, I still know him, but he doesn't work there anymore, but he spoke very highly of it, but he worked there, so I just
Right.
assumed he was
No, it was
biased.
very, very good. Um, so I mean, you can't go wrong. Lots of options, and of course, they have the quick service location at the Jambo House,
Mhm.
where you should be getting a zebra dome cake. That's what they're
Yes.
known for.
The
And
other thing food related that I think we should touch on is this is the only property on at Walt Disney World that you can have club level in a villa. This is
correct.
the only property you can do that. So that is something that if you are wanting more space, but you still want to have that club level experience, you can do that at Animal Kingdom Lodge. You cannot do that at any other Walt Disney World resort.
Correct. Nowhere else. Now, should we talk about? We love it, right? I think
Yeah.
one of the bigger downsides is that it's just pretty far from everything, right? So
Yeah.
you have to get on a Disney bus to get to any of the 4 parks, including Animal Kingdom, which some people are surprised that it's a very short bus ride,
It
but you
is.
still
Yeah.
do have to get on a bus. So, and
Yeah.
it's a pretty hefty trek from to Magic Kingdom.
It is a while. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would probably be the one downside. But from a cost perspective, you're going to see this at entry level pricing for a deluxe resort, in part because it's a little further from everything. The second piece, the rooms are a little smaller compared to other deluxe resorts because the standard hotel room only sleeps 4 here, where many other deluxe resorts sleep 5. So they are just going to mostly just have the 2 queen beds in the regular hotel room. So just keep those things in mind. But you can't go wrong if there's
No.
zebras outside your.
Absolutely. Or
Thank you.
giraffes.
Yeah,
And I will say, if you're like Chris and I, and you're the kind of person who rents a car anyways, when you go, like that's not a turn
yeah,
off.
it's not
Like
a
that shouldn't be
deal
something
breaker.
that deters you. You're still getting all of the perks of a deluxe resort. You're still getting those extra late night hours. You're still getting into the park early with everybody else staying on property. Like you're just at that lower price point for a deluxe resort. And I would say honestly, like Animal Kingdom Lodge is probably one of the coolest resorts on property because of the fact that you are literally surrounded by animals. And while other resorts have cool features, and we'll talk about that on other episodes, I do think that Animal Kingdom Lodge is one that is going to satisfy not only adults and wanting to be in a deluxe property, but also like the kids are going to love it. They're going to think it is so cool to be able to see these animals from all over the resort. And
And
also, like, it's cool for adults.
well, and you mentioned it has the big grand lobby, right? So it just has this
Mhm.
this kind of breathtaking feel when you walk into the main lobby.
Yeah.
So can't
Yeah.
go wrong.
You really can't. It's a fantastic spot. If you've been thinking about it, I mean, now you've hopefully got a little more information about it and can make a better informed decision. But this series is going to cover every single resort at Walt Disney World. So if this isn't the one, we probably are going to talk about the one that's right for you. But on that note, until next time, let's just go.